how to build a third-party supplier register. So many standards, GDPR, ISO 27001, PCI DSS, SOC, SOC 2, will require you to have a register of your third-party suppliers. It is not intent here to go through third-party supplier management, but I'm just going to show you how you can pull together a simple and effective third-party supplier register that will meet the requirements of the standards. So let's make this a little bit bigger so you can actually see what I'm typing on this particular video, and then we will zoom out so you can see in its entirety. So the first thing we're going to want is a reference. We want an internal reference for the third-party supplier. When it comes to third-party suppliers, what do we want to know about them? Well, we want to know their name. We would like to know some contact information, I guess. So we're going to want to know our contact person. We're going to want to know a contact telephone number. Number, when we can spell. We're going to want to know a contact email. You might want the you might want the company number here. I'm not going to put that in. You might want that. The reason that you want the contact information is at some point you are going to have to contact them and do something. So you might not fill this in on the first pass, but you'll definitely put the name in there. Then we're going to want to know what do they do for us. So what does the third party do? Do they provide a data center? Do they provide cleaning services? Are they our landlord? So what does that third party do? We're going to want to capture what data do they have. So you can put what data do they hold, what data do they store, but what data do they have? What data do we share with them? So we're going to put in here things like, is it customer data? Is it employee data, analytics data? But you want to get a good understanding of what kind of data that they're holding on our behalf. Then we're going to try and look to score and rank our third party. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to put criticality. Then we're going to put in there a level of assurance. So what do we mean by criticality? On a 1, 3, 9 scale, where we did this before, 1 is low, 3 is medium, 9 is high. We're going to say how critical is that third party to our business. So a high score would be if that third party went bust, we couldn't operate. We're wholly reliant on them. A low score would be that we use them, but it isn't critical. For example, a cleaner may technically be quite a low criticality to you. You would continue to work without one. Assurance is what level of assurance do you have that controls are in place. This could be subjective or objective. We're going to come on to that in a moment, but you would put a score in there. So let's say 1, 1 and 3, and we're going to get a score off of the back of that. So this is a criticality score. As before, it's a basic formula. So we're just going to do H2 multiplied by I2, and that's going to give us a score. The higher the score, the higher the level of importance that third party to is, and the more likely we're going to want to do some investigation and assurance around those. As last time, you could put some conditional formatting in and color that, and that's not the point of this, but you could do that. The next field we're going to want to know is, do we have a contract with them? That's going to be a yes, no. Ideally and definitely every third party should have a contract, but you want to know, do you have a copy of that contract? You want to know the contract expiry date. I'm sure you can spell check this at the end. So when does that contract expire? If in fact we do have one, again we're going to want to follow that. Then we're going to want to know, potentially to support our assurances on top of the contract, does the third party have any certifications? So you could just have a free format column that says certifications and you could list them, or you could highlight the ones that are important to you. So ISO 27001, ISO 9001, etc., etc. So the point there is you're trying to get a level of assurance that that third party is doing the right thing when it comes to the level of controls that you're having around your data and your services. Then we're going to want to know when did we last do an audit of them. So it may well be as part of your onboarding process you did an audit. It may be that you've never done an audit. You may have done one recently as part of a robust structure and management of third parties. So we're going to put when did we do the last audit. Then we're going to put in there when are we going to do our next audit. So when is the next audit due on that third party. So what we have there, if we pull that back a little bit, make that nice and big for you. Again, we can color code that, we can change that into a theme, we can make that look nice, we can fill out some of those columns, and what you're starting to see is that you have at a high level a functioning third-party register that captures all the critical information that it is that you're going to want to know. Again, as per the last tutorial videos that I've done, you might want to put some document control on there. I'm not here to teach you that today. Version control, internal classification, you might want to put that on there. But what this is going to do, it's going to give you a good starting point for gathering the information and managing your third parties. Thank you for watching.